Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Naistiki Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare जय श्रीमद् भगवत गीता इसकी जय ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय श्री चैतन्य चरितामृत की जय श्री निताई गौर चंद्र प्रेमानंद हरि हरि बोल. So Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome everyone. And so today we are on the seventh chapter, seventh class of the important topic, material and non-material, and matter and antimatter. So before we start today, let us have quickly a recap about what we discussed last week, please. So if you can please share your realizations. Thank you very much. I will have to switch off my camera for the time being, but you please, all of you can share your points one after the other. Thank you.
Dear devotees, thank you, Mr. Ambarisa Dasa and his Krishna for arranging these classes and for training us. So the points that I from our last discussion on matter and antimatter were first we were talking about the Guru, and Amrishoji told us that when Krishna thinks that we are ready and like based upon our previous lives, Krishna sends Guru and the Guru comes searching for us. Not that we go and find Guru and we think we found the Guru. Guru comes searching for us. That was the point. And Prabhuji said that Satyuga was called the golden time, but it was not the golden time for enjoyment. It was the golden time for performing austerities. That was a very interesting point. And uh, I asked the question last time that is Lord Brahma also in like is the time also in control of Lord Brahma because he creates the material world from the blueprint that Lord Vishnu gives. So Prabhuji said that even Lord Brahma has lifespan. He has a start and he has an end. Even though it is very long in our perspective, but still he has a certain period of lifespan. So Lord Brahma is not in control of the time factor. Therefore, we say that Krishna is time. And there was one question I remember asked by his Krishna Samarpan Krishna Prabhuji that what is exactly does it mean by clash between the material worlds? The word came there in the discussion. And what is exactly the clash between material and anti-material worlds? So Prabhuji said that it is the annihilation when the material world goes back to Mahavishnu. So that annihilation is called clash. So these are some of the points that I know from our previous discussion. Thank you.
Krishna, dear devotees, thank you, His Grace Amrish Prabhuji, Her Grace Purnavagna Mataji, and His Grace Krishna Sanpan Krishna Prabhuji for organizing such classes and training us. Thank you, Pradyum Prabhu, for sharing the realization. From the last class of antimatter and matter, I have noted down some of the points. And one of the point where Prabhuji mentioned that we should study in the mood of the speaker, and mood of the speaker depends on the question asked by the listener. And he also mentioned, which Pradyum Prabhu also mentioned, that we don't have to copy the seniors, we need to follow them. And we should always depend on Krishna. And regarding the question asked by Pradyum Prabhu about Brahmaji, Risho mentioned about the lifespan of higher planets. It is more because the predominance of Kali is less. Then there was one of the point which we discussed and Prabhuji highlighted that particular point a lot. The gradual evolutionary progress of the material world depends on the psychological changes within the mind. I was thinking about this point, and Prabhuji uh, di- just said this point that this is very important point, and we couldn't discuss it much, but we forget to highlight that particular point, and Prabhuji highlighted it. Then there was one of the point regarding intelligent men who are clean in heart and habit will be able to learn. And we should always be, we should, our spiritual world depends on the deeds of our deeds in the life of our previous life. So this was one of the point, and Proji mentioned that please give me, please help me. In order to get the mercy of Krishna, we need to beg for it. We need to beg for the mercy until unless we'll not be able to get it. So these were the points which I have written it on. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, devotees. Thank you, His Grace Ambrish Prabhuji, Her Grace Puna Pragya Mataji, and His Grace Krishna Samapan Krishna Das Prabhuji for arranging these classes and for training us. Thank you, Pradyum Prabhu and Srishti Mataji for sharing their points. Some of the points that I remember from the discussion that we had last week, firstly was that the point that Ambrish Prabhuji said that we should learn the art of understanding the mood of our guru so that we can please them. We also gave the example of Raghav Pandit and Damayanti, how they did their service to Mahaprabhu, but they did not tell anybody about the service that they did. And that is the mood that we need to have in our understanding. And try to understand how to please our seniors with our service. The second point, one of the questions that I had regarding how demigods, like how there in Brahmalok there is no tamogun and there is no rajasgun. So how does introspection and everything else work there? And Amrish Prabhuji said that there are 400,000 species of human beings, and not all of them are, depending on their consciousness, are capable of introspection on different levels, and how even on the higher living beings they are capable of introspection, but it all depends on their it all depends on their consciousness. And then there was also a point of discussion regarding regarding the change of a worm to a butterfly. Amrish Prabhuji said towards the end of the discussion that it is the same as the change from a man to a woman in modern science. That is the point that we stopped at last time because we were not able to identify the gravity of that point. But I do not know if we'll emphasize more on it, but it was something very interesting that we also thought about. I think that's all the points that I am able to remember. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, His Grace Ambrish Prabhuji, for taking the classes. Her Grace Purna Pragna Mataji and His Grace Krishna Samapan Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you, devotees, for sharing the realization. There are a few points which I've noted down from the last class. The first point is that the materialists will never see anti-material things as they're materially concocted. Their knowledge is very limited because they only study gross matter, which improves the condition of life, but they can't solve real problems like life, old age, disease, and death. The other point was that the biggest challenge that is that we should not discriminate while giving the mercy, that everyone should get the mercy of this knowledge. It is on them who are sincere, they will get the mercy and others will not. Then there was this question that's why Satyuga is called golden time. It is not because the people are enjoying or they are living a very good life there, but because they are performing austerity and to realize Krishna, who is Supreme Purush. And the other point was that we should not copy from seniors. We should learn from them that what Krishna liked in them, what pleased Krishna. And there's very good example Prabhuji shared that about Raghav Pandit and the sister and his sister Damayanti, that they cooked food for 1 whole year for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And we should learn that mood from them, that they didn't tell anyone. following that mood is very important, that we shouldn't show off and brag about things we do. Even the slightest things we do, we brag about them, but we should follow this mood that we should do things without bragging about it. The other point was that the predominator and predominated one, which stayed with me, that although they are similar in quality, but still they are serving out of love to Krishna there. And even sometimes Krishna becomes predominated. Prabhuji gave example of Sri Dhama, who cursed Krishna, which happened in Golok. They were my points. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Deepak Prabhuji, I don't think you're audible. Is it just me?
Yeah, to me as well.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you, His Grace Amrish Prabhuji, Her Grace Purna Prajna Devi Dasi Mataji, and His Grace Krishna Sarvam Krishna Das Prabhuji. And thank you, devotees, for their realization. There are few points that I have noted down from the previous class, and the first point is the same. Like when Krishna knows a living being is ready, and then Krishna sends a guru, and guru came out searching for us. And Prabhuji mentioned that without guru there is no gyan. So if you are looking for gyan, you have like from guru there is gyan. And the most important point, what I have noted down is whatever you have seen in the material world is mostly present in Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam in subtle form. So we need intelligence to understand it. We were talking about the planets, how we can go from one planet to another, from psychological thinking, the transition from a worm to butterfly. So at that time, before that paragraph, this point was came. And then the important thing that we didn't understand the gravity of ki, like there was Prabhupada has written ki we can like go from one planet to another planet easily. The modern scientists are having so much struggle. They are making planes. They said ki the atmosphere is not favorable on other planets. But if you focus on your mind at the time of death on anything, you can go there and give the example of a deer. There was a pastime. So then we had like Prabhuji noted, tell us the point ki what do you think on the modern conversion from a man to woman and vice versa? So at that point we stop. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you, His Grace Amrish Prabhuji, Her Grace Purna Pragya Devi Dasi Mataji, and His Grace Krishna Smarpan Krishna Prabhu for organizing this class and giving us this chance to share our realizations. And thank you, Prabhuji, for training us and guiding us. And yes, Prabhuji. So I was a little bit in and out for last Sunday because of traveling. So the few points that I realized and yeah, I think that important. I was thinking about it. One is that Prabhuji mentioned that in Satyuga, the age is favorable, but it's not for enjoyment. Like we think that, okay, everything was very good, favorable, and people were very healthy. And of course, they were healthy than today. But it's favorable for doing austerity, because they were doing half of their life is just austerity. We can't do little bit austerity nowadays, but over there they like thousands and thousands of years they were doing austerities to realize Krishna. So that's one of the point that I stuck. And another point was that we need to understand on the point of view of speaker, when we listening. So Mataji also mentioned about that yeah, when we asking questions, or we need to think like that. And in the end, the point that we stopped at, the psychological point, that we have to think, like the example of the caterpillar, turning into butterfly. So when we meditate, something we meditate upon, this becomes our destination. So as this book is the easy journey to other planets. So whatever we cultivate whole our life, or what we contemplate, if we are Krishna conscious, then we definitely to go in spiritual planets. But if we contemplate, or our psychology is sense gratification, definitely we will come back to different species according to our sense gratification psychology. So yeah, that's those few points that I have realized. Thank you very much, dear devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Hare Krishna, His Grace Ambrish Prabhuji, Hare Grace Panpige Mataji, and His Grace Krishna Samandam Krishna Prabhu, for actually giving us opportunity to actually attend this program and actually study this instruction and share our realizations. So from the last Sunday lecture, I actually noted a few points, and I was thinking about it. The first one I remember is that actually there was a discussion. I think Krishna Samarpan Krishna asked the question between the clash between the material and antimaterial world. So I had a similar question. So thanks for asking that question. That clarified my doubt as well. Also, I vividly remember Amrish Prabhu gave this example of Raghav Pandit, her sister, who used to cook, and what really astonished me is that they don't declare, they're cooking, or anything, without notifying anything. And she used to cook all that food, and Raghav Pandit used to carry along, and used to last for 12 years. And I was thinking, what kind of items they be cooking that can last for 12 months, So not ordinary items, might be something dry, So very thoughtful, and actually, so there's a lot to learn from that example as well, So yeah, even I remembered actually when Amrish Prabhu shared that realization, the Guru Maharaj's instruction that one should do the service, that your guru even should not realize that you are doing the service, so not taking a credit. So also there is a discussion, and as other devotees mentioned about the actually Devansh Mataji asked the question, and Amrish Prabhu explained that there are about 400,000 different human species, and also there is a discussion about the actually different yugas and how the actually particular modes are prominent in each different yuga. So in the Satya Yuga, there is a mode of goodness is prominent, whereas Kali Yuga is a mode of ignorance or passion. And how actually it is congenial, in Satya Yuga for doing various austerities. So that actually, I remember that discussion as well. Also, yeah, the psychological effect, as yogis, they can travel from one planet to the another. So I remember that example of the butterfly, the caterpillar turned itself into a butterfly. So we had that discussion, and there was a statement by Srila Prabhupada where actually Amrish Prabhu, there was, I asked the question as well, but I didn't ask at the first, realization. So Amrish Prabhu pointed out, how actually that sex change, surgeries. So in regard to that, so I was still thinking about that point. So there was a discussion about that. So still, actually, I'm meditating on that point and try to understand that. So yeah, these are the actually few points actually I remembered and noted down for my actually thinking. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, so let us continue now further in our discussion. Krishna, can you please push our screen share, please? Thank you. And who would like to read today? Thank you.
I can read from
Okay, we had Divanshu Mata raise the hand first. Okay, we'll try and give everyone a chance. Thank you. Let us start with Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you, Prabhuji. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, chapter 32, the process of entering the moon is described as follows. Materialistic minded men who have no information of the kingdom of God are always mad after material acquisition of wealth, fame, and adoration. Such men are interested in the progressive wheel of their particular family unit for their own self-satisfaction, and so are also interested in the progress of social and national welfare. These men attain their desired objects by material activities. They are mechanically engaged in the ritualistic discharge of prescribed duties and are consequently inclined to satisfy the pitas or bygone forefathers and controlling demigods by performance of sacrifices as prescribed by the revealed scriptures. Addicted to such acts of sacrifices and ceremonial observances, such souls enter into the moon after death. When one is thus promoted to the moon, he receives the capacity to enjoy the drinking of somaras, a celestial beverage. The moon is a place where the demigod Chandra is the predominating deity. The atmosphere and amenities of life there are far more comfortable and advantageous than those here on earth. After reaching the moon, if a soul does not utilize the opportunity for promotion to better planets, he is degraded and forced to return to Earth or a similar planet. However, materialistic persons, although they may attain to the topmost planetary system, are certainly annihilated at the time of the cosmic manifestation's dissolution. As far as the planetary system of the spiritual sky is concerned, there are unlimited Vaikuntha planets in the Paravyom. The Vaikunthas are spiritual planets which are manifestations of the internal potency of the Lord. And the ratio of these planets to the material planets, external energy in the material sky, is 3 to 1. So the poor materialist is busy making political adjustments on a planet which is most insignificant in God's creation. To say nothing of this planet Earth, the whole universe with innumerable planets throughout the galaxies is comparable to a grain of mustard seed in a bag full of mustard seeds. But the poor materialist makes plans to live comfortably here and thus wastes his valuable human energy in something which is doomed to frustration. Instead of wasting his time with business speculations, he might have sought the life of plain living and high spiritual thinking, and thus saved himself from the perpetual materialistic unrest. Even if a materialist wants to enjoy developed material facilities, he can transfer himself to planets where he can experience material pleasures much more advanced than those available on the Earth planet. But the best plan is to prepare oneself to return to the spiritual sky after leaving the body. However, if one is intent on enjoying material facilities, one can transfer himself to other planets in the material sky by utilizing yogic powers. The playful spaceships of the astronauts are but childish entertainments and are of no use for this purpose.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Mother. So, anyone would like to just summarize what has been mentioned here? Someone from the beginners group, please. Beginners Sangha. Thank you.
Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you, Divanshu Mataji, for reading. Prabhuji, here, like, what I can understand, like, from...
Wait for a few minutes. Hare Bol. 1 second, Prabhuji. 1 second. Yeah, please continue now. It's okay.
No problem. So, Prabhuji, like, Prabhupada started with the ritualistic people who are too like those who are very passionate and try to achieve the material objects. So they satisfy pitas, do ritualistic activities, and may be transferred to the higher planets and get the capacity to enjoy there. But if they don't utilize their position on that planet, then they are again degraded to the same Earth planet or another same planet. And so Prabhupada in the next paragraph compares the spiritual sky is so vast, the ratio is almost 3 to 1. Like, and he compares a mustard seed to a bag of full bag of mustard seed, but still we are very much inclined into material things and we complicate our life so much. And Prabhupada gave example of, because rather than this, a human life should be plain simple and should be utilized for spiritual advancement. Else it's of no use. Like, he compares all the scientific advancements, spaceships and everything to just a toy. We can, our own body is capable to transfer to another planets. If we have, if we can, like without any objects, we can transfer to another planets. That is, I can understand. Hare Krishna.
Okay, let's continue. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, I think Pradyum Prabhu raised his hand, Prabhuji.
Yes, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, I had one question.
Yes, please.
So, in this paragraph, like Prabhupada says in the above paragraph that like kuntas are spiritual planets which are manifestations of the internal potency. And the ratio of these planets to material planets in the material sky is 3:1. So, like, uh, I just wanted to know that is there also a limit to spiritual world? Because uh, if it is unlimited, then how can we say that it is 3:1 ratio for the planets? So are spiritual planets also limited by number of planets?
Thank you for your question, Roger. Just 1 second, please.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Guruji. So the question is 1, 2, 3, then
So we can only make comparison in this mathematics if there is a limit to it. So 3:1, like if there are like 25 planets here, then 75 planets would be in the spiritual world. So is there also a limit of planets in the spiritual world?
no, it's unlimited. There are unlimited planets, unlimited universes in Vaikuntha, Paravyoma. And in each of them, there is Krishna in a particular form as a presiding deity. Is that okay?
So then how can we say that it is 3:1 in ratio? I did not.
Yeah, because even the material planets, you think they are material manifestation. You're thinking about what is manifested now is all complete thing. We discussed it in the previous lectures, is it not so? You asked me, all of you asked me the question that Earth is only so much, so there must be something more inside which is not manifested. Earth, water, fire, ether. Pravishtanya, apravishtani. We discussed this point, if you remember, this is Srimad Bhagavatam seed verses. What is that verse? Who remembers that verse?
Yeah, it's Yata Mahanti Bhutani Bhuteshu Chavacheshvanu Pravishanya Tatateshu Nateshvaham.
Just as a, oh Brahma, just as universal elements enter into the cosmos and do not enter into it. The same way, the Supreme Lord also exists in the outside of everything. You understand this point? So what you see here, what we see now, is what has been manifested. And there are those which is also in the bank, in the godown somewhere. You understand this point now?
Yes, sir.
So this is why we discuss, I give a big class on this point. Anyone remembers about that class? Who remembers any of this class which I spoke about this verse? If you say yes, then I'll ask you what. So if you remember, then remember. If you don't remember, you say I don't remember. Yeah. So I had mentioned this. This was a point when I read this particular verse. I had a question. And our question is that how the universal elements can enter and cannot enter. What does it mean? I did not understand this at all. So once I was with Maharaj in Shirajpur Dham, and we were discussing, Maharaj was like, well, had the verse reciting, and Maharaj asked me this question. So you tell me, Ambarish, I said, this was my question. Oh my God, what do I do? Second, it always happened like this, with Maharaj. It was paining me for so many months, and not to disturb Maharaj, I could not. I had a facility which I could just call Maharaj and ask all these questions all this time. It was not that easy, but we are doing it here so that it is easier for all of you, so you can progress better. You must take advantage like this. Maharaj always wanted that way. So Maharaj's old age, advanced age, and so many disciples and personal thing also, my personal sadhana, we don't want to disturb this. So I was like, couldn't understand. And Maharaj said, see, this is the answer. That there is what is manifested, it comes out, and there's also go down, And Maharaj gave example. Remember, he says, you see, if you go to a television shop, so they display something outside television, and there's in the go down also there's a big numbers in the go down, Maharaj. So this is the meaning of it. Now you understand? I said yes, Maharaj. So now you understand, all of you. Now you understand this point. Understood this point, all of you. So the universal elements which are there, what we see is hardly what is actually there. The capacity for material elements also is very high. What is shown is just a glimpse. This in the Bollywood movie, picture abhi baki hai, Yeah, and we are baffled by this, what is going on around us, Bombing each other, we are. So you are demon, no, you are demon, let's bomb each other out. And we go to other planets to search for life. And we are finishing life in our planet, fighting with each other. I don't know why we're going to search life in other planet. We're going to bomb there also, they'll bomb us or whatever it is, Anyway, so this is the point. So that's why 1:3 or 4:4. The capacity is there. But you understand this. The problem is this, that we think that 1:3 means 1 is a complete. We understand 1 is complete definition. We don't even know what is 1. Prabhupada just gave the ratio. The second point to understand. He did not say that, okay, it is 1,000 square meters, material world, and spiritual world is 1,000 times 3, so 3,000 square meters. Did Prabhupada say this? Is it written there in any scriptures anywhere? No. What is a given? Ratio. Means whatever is a material element, spiritual is times 3. Its ratio is 1:3 or 1:4. So what is 1? That we do not know. And that's what we are saying. We think that this is 1, what we see. No, that is also what has been shown to us. It's just a sample television showroom. Behind the showroom is a godown where more is mentioned. So earth, water, fire, everything huge are there, saved there. So Krishna is God. He creates things, destroys things as per his will. We understand now? Is it okay for you?
Yes, probably. Yes, probably.
You understood the answer? Okay. Now I
Yes.
think everybody else will understand this example better. Before, when I gave a class, nobody was okay. I gave a class, so you didn't have a question. So you did not bother about what was spoken to you. This is the point. A student has to be very particular. There's a reason why something has been mentioned to me. So they should note it down. And what is noted, you'll get the answer in some time, some phase or form. Okay. That's why I say, if you don't have a question, you'll not appreciate the answer. It's already been given to you before, see, or given now. So when you have a question, you're thinking about it and you answer. Okay. That doesn't mean you should not ask questions. You must ask questions. You must think about it. Sit down, talk. Because preaching is important because you have to find out answers yourself. You can always say, I do not know. I'll come back to you. Or I have no idea. It's fine. Because everything is not possible to be understood. Just imagine, this material creation, what we exist today, what we see is itself infinite. And just recently, the scientists found out dark matter. Before that, it was theory. Anyone who knows about dark matter? We discussed that also, but I don't want to push you so much. I want to understand. Anyone knows about dark matter? If you know, just raise your hands. None of you know about dark matter? But we are scientists. How are we devotees, man? If you don't question things, how are you a devotee? I don't understand you. A devotee means questions everything material and find out about spiritual. Now you'll go and search dark matter in the Google shortcut fatafat, or your chat GPT or Gemini or whatever it is, a cloud or whatever you call it. Useless. I would say that you're loaned your intelligence to the computer, memory to the computer, and finished. And we have loaned everything to the computer now. You know, type a letter for me, make a sentence for me. Can I do this research for me? That research for me. All this, and you are sitting. It's a so nice advancement, right? And what is your advancement? Nothing. You've gone down from what you were. The capacity of thinking has gone down. We had a big discussion on dark matter. Okay, scientists had asked this question. Now they have found out, yes, what dark matter is. So we can find out. There's scientific reasons for it. But let us not discuss it because it is not asked by you. So even if I invest time in explaining, you will not understand because this is not what your problem. This is not your problem at the moment. Okay. So you understood your point. 1:3 is understood now. 1:4. Yeah. Okay. Hare Krishna. Let's continue. Thank you.
Krishna Mataji raised her hand.
Yes, Prabhuji. So he was, yeah. The Ashtanga Yoga system is also materialistic
Cool.
in as much.
Sorry, Devanshi Mataji, Haribo.
Yes.
Anjali Mataji raised her hand. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Actually, I wanted to ask one question.
Yeah.
Can I? In the previous paragraph, it was written that this planet is insignificant in God's creation. But I've actually studied that even demigods want to come on Earth. So this is the only way we can go back to spiritual sky, or like go back to Godhead. This is the only way that demigods also want to come to the Earth, and then they would. So how insignificant? How this Earth is insignificant?
So demigods want to come to earth. They're two separate things. Prabhupada is saying insignificant in the form it is so small, hardly anything, speck of dust, not even a speck of dust in the whole universe. The physical part of it is also insignificant. Okay. Second thing is the demigod wants to come to earth. Is not earth is the only place you can go back to God. No. That is not correct. Yes, they want to come back to come to earth to live on earth because on earthly planet, the enjoyment and suffering is in some kind of proportion. So when you have got suffering, you can understand, find out about God. You don't think about God when you're enjoying. Whereas the heavenly planets, enjoyment capacity is more, enjoyment facilities are more. So you don't think about God. So that's why the demigods wants to come on earthly planet to take birth in earthly planet, not come, take birth. So that here you've got facilities, you've got so many dhams, pilgrimage places, Krishna's pastimes are there everywhere. And you get a chance with the suffering and enjoyment to say, okay, I can finish it off. I don't want to come back in the material world. Why only earth? I don't want to come into the material world only. Okay, two separate things. You got the answers for both?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay. Anyone else has any questions on this, please?
Vishnu Rohini has Prabhuji, are these earthly planets in every universe?
No, no, no. There is not correct. Yes, they want to come to earth to live on earth because on earthly planet the enjoyment and suffering is in some kind of proportion. So when you have got suffering, you can understand, find out about God. You don't think about God when you're enjoying. I do not know about other universes. I have no idea. I'm sure there would be. Universe. There are so many universes. But Krishna appears in every universe, every planet actually. Just like we blink the eyes, so many times he appears. Not always as Krishna, but in his different incarnations. Okay? But we wait for 10 more seconds. Can anyone wants to say anything? Ask anything else on this paragraph?
Krishna Guruji, just one more doubt. Ki Lord Krishna performs his pastimes on the earth planet also or in heavenly planets also?
Krishna performs pastime wherever he wants to perform. He's the boss, But he may not, what we know as Krishna, God, what we know as Krishna, he may not show himself as Krishna. He may show himself as different other, that has been given in the fifth canto. Different planets, different things are given. Pradyumna, Aniruddha also is shown as Vishnu, Narayan, Vaman, Nrsimha, all is different. And so many different incarnations. Names are also very different. So even there is each manmantra, each Manu, there are 14 Manus in one day of Brahma. In each Manu there is one incarnation of Krishna, different names. And not all is mentioned too. In Bhagavatam there is mention about what till now, seventh Manu, and then there's this discussion what is going to happen now. Who will be the 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th Manu. And who will be the associates, who will be the Brahma, who will be Indra. Indra also changes, no? There are 14 Indras, not one. So it is, we think it is big, but it's hardly anything. In one day of Brahma, just like one day you eat, you wake up, you take your shower, you go to toilet, you go to washroom, then you eat, and have a breakfast, have a lunch, go to exercise, come to program, do a chanting. Half day is over. If you are Brahma, then half day 7 Manus have come in and gone. And like us, unlimited would be so many. So many lifetimes have come and gone. So our brain has to process this information. Okay. So that's why it's very important that what we gain knowledge, we must sit and think about it. Oh wow, what does it mean? How does this mean? What does that mean? So whatever theories which you see on YouTube videos, lateral life, and this all everything could be understood with your realizations in Srimad Bhagavad. That's what I was telling you last one, that whatever is existing in the material world is mentioned directly in Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita or indirectly in subtle form, but is there. So that's why once you start to study this very thoroughly, you will really enjoy this, your sci-fi movies and Netflix series and all that. You say, yeah, we know it's predictable, all those things. Yeah, Bhagavatam is like electrifying. Okay? Good. Anybody else want to say anything? Yeah, please.
My network is a bit lagging. Am I audible?
Yes.
So I wanted to ask that, like in our earthly planets or us, like on our Earth, we say that the Bhagavad Gita is like the manual for Or like in Srimad Bhagavatam also, there is so much information about creation and everything. And so is it like that in the other planets, the scriptures might be a bit different, or the same scriptures exist there also? Like how creation came and all those things happen.
Have you read the Bhagavad Gita?
No problem.
You not read?
Not.
You know, Krishna said, no, we discussed this point that the same knowledge I have given to you, Arjuna, which I have given to Sun God.
That's it. That's it.
So, what do you understand about this point from Krishna? So, why are you asking this question to me? So, either you have not understood what Krishna said and what we have taught you, or you don't accept what Krishna says. Otherwise, why will you not believe? Why will you ask this question? You tell me. Or you're not attentive. Either of these three things. That's why I said in the last class, we should be sharp. Opportune moment should be there to perform devotional service. Guru Maharaj says it. Opportune moment, devotional service is not about, oh, sir, cooking for Krishna and serving Krishna. It's thinking about Krishna also. It's devotional service. So he says this, right? So does it answer your question? So it may exist in some form, but knowledge is the same. So tomorrow, if somebody kidnaps us from a UFO, kidnaps us and we sit with a wise man of some other planet, we can discuss creation with those personalities. So I want to sit with about creation, God. Let's talk about God. So before we should be very careful about what we're asking questions. Just because we are available doesn't mean you can ask for any questions. Think. If you do not get an answer, then ask the question. Not that something came in my mind, so I'm asking questions. That's not right. So it came in my mind, I'll think about it and ask next week. Or I've been thinking about it, then ask. So otherwise, it is wasting of time for everybody. Okay? Thank you. Because it's there, we discuss it in detail. Most of the times, everything has been asked is already discussed in the past. But anyone, anything else? Anyone wants to say anything? We'll wait for 10 more seconds. Okay, let's continue. Thank you.
The Ashtanga Yoga system is also materialistic inasmuch as it teaches one to control the movements of air within the material body. The spiritual spark, the soul, is floating on air within the body, and inhalation and exhalation are the waves of that air containing the soul. Therefore, the yoga system is a materialistic art of controlling this air by transferring it from the stomach to the navel, from the chest to the collarbone, and from there to the eyeballs, and from there to the cerebellum, and from there to any desired planet. The velocities of air and light are taken into consideration by the material scientist, but he has no information of the velocity of the mind and intelligence. We have some limited experience of the velocity of the mind because in a moment we can transfer our minds to places hundreds of thousands of miles away. Intelligence is even finer. Finer than intelligence is the soul, which is not matter like mind and intelligence, but is spirit or antimatter. The soul is hundreds of thousands of times finer and more powerful than intelligence. We can thus only imagine the velocity of the soul in its traveling from one planet to another. Needless to say, the soul travels by its own strength and not with the help of any kind of material vehicle.
Anyone has any questions on this, please? Or your anyone wants to say anything? Up to you. Your realization. Don't ask questions, but realization. Okay, let's continue. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, sorry, I was just thinking about the point, like in the beginning of the paragraph, Prabhupada writing that the inhalation and the exhalation are the waves of that air containing the soul. Like I am just wondering more and more about how that happens and how you can control the soul by the air that is moving in the body. I'm still trying to like understand, think more about it before like, but that's very interesting to me that that's possible through yogic process of Ashtanga Yoga.
It's possible, it's written here. So, question is?
It's I thought the soul was like, of course, it's for through the process of Ashtanga Yoga, it's possible. Like I was just, I mean, that's it, I think. Like, yes.
Okay, let's just go down, please. My screen is half cut up from the top, you know. Yeah, okay. Right. So, what is it saying here?
It is this line that the spiritual spark, the soul is floating on air within the body. And inhalation and exhalation are the waves of that air containing the soul. This line I'm just trying to understand, Prabhuji.
Yeah, good. Think or understand. Think about it. Spend some time on it. Not that we have read something and we want to know the answer straight away. So it's like a theorem, you know. Science, something is taught to you, then you think about it. Exactly how we studied in our school in advanced class, you know, some theorem is taught to us. So we practice the theorem in different angles, we practice, right? We change the parameters. Instead of 1, we make 2, so 50, 45, 3 parameters, 50 parameters. And then we understand the same way we understand spiritual science. Same thing. Okay, wonderful. So think about it. You'll find an answer. If you can't find an answer, then talk to us. But this answer, I do not know anything more than that actually. I'm not an Ashtanga yoga practitioner, so I do not know. So only if you have any realization, speak now. Yeah, somebody raise your hands, please. Don't raise your hand, just speak. I don't see everybody, you know, please. So I can't see everybody.
I was also like thinking and digesting this point. I was thinking in a way here it is written that soul is floating on air within the body. And the oxygen is very important. Without oxygen, we can't even survive. So even your blood cells carry oxygen, right? RBCs and everything. The heart and soul resides in heart. And here it's mentioned that if we are able to control that level of oxygen or air, we can transfer the soul from stomach to navel to chest, collarbone, eyes and brain and to any other planet. So if we can control the air, we can do it. But what happens to the super soul? Like the soul and super soul resides together in heart. And when we are able to control the air and go to any other planet, so what happens to the super soul then?
Think about it. Good question. Before you ask me the question, it came to you right now, correct? This question.
Yes, bro, like from past 3-4 minutes, I was thinking on the air
Yeah,
point.
4 minutes. Huh? Very good. Very good. 4 minutes thinking. Very good. So 4 minutes is good enough for you to understand the theorem. Yeah. So you spend your time, take a pen and a paper. After the class is done, you write down this whole point again, and you say, and you find out this, that from the previous lectures, understand. If you can't find out, then ask me.
Yes, bro.
Is that a good idea?
Yes, bro.
Yes. That's what we want you to do. All of you, we want you all to be thoroughly inquisitive. Inquisitive means not asking questions. Inquisitive means to understand how things work. That is real scientist. Scientists meaning what? Scientists are people who understand how things work. Material scientists. Is it not so? So that's exactly. They have a theorem. It's okay. We think that hypothesis. They put a hypothesis. We think this is how it should be working. And the whole process is made towards proving the hypothesis right or wrong. So they create a hypothesis and then make thought. Similarly, as I was telling Devanshi Mataji, you write down this point, think about it, and say what happens to the super soul. If you can't find an answer, next week you must ask questions. We can do that because these are, you can ask me questions about the technicalities about this, but not an answer. Answer you find out yourself. Otherwise, next week when we have realization, you can say, I had a question about that. Can I ask you the question, please? Do that. Perfectly all right. So you would have had time to think about it, meditate upon this, and you will have taken efforts to understand how this works. We understand you're very busy. I'm very busy. Everybody's very busy, with work, job, personal life, girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, money, smoking, drinking, alcohol, party, with fighting with our mates, not fighting, meditation, chanting. A little bit meditate, and we say, okay, I'll find out some time, think about it, and then move. Is it a good idea? What do you think?
Yes, Prabhuji. And Prabhuji, the
Wonderful.
resource is to to think we can use like internet or any other resources available or stick to the Prabhupada books.
Up to you. Why are you asking me? What have we taught you this before? What have we taught you?
We have to make our own decisions. It is given, this is given, everything is given.
If you want to go and search out for the internet, go search out. You'll find all wild beans, person who is drunk also writing, putting his opinion, sexual person writing opinion, alcoholic person. How do you know what is writing? At least here I'm not drinking in front of you. I may be drinking outside behind you, but I'm reading from his books. So you want to, but still want to find out from somebody else whom you have not met, you don't know what the person is. Go. All people go reach to you. Go to other planets. Somebody must be ET from some other Mars writing something on the internet to people and say, oh, such nice philosophy, he's gone. You meet him, you'll faint, seeing the person. At least you're not fainting in front of me. So we taught you all these things. So why are you asking this question? Can I ask whether you can do whatever you want to do? We already told you. So whatever we has been spoken to you, we said you restrict your knowledge from somewhere, some sources. Everything is given. If you don't want to, don't. Is that okay?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Good. Wonderful. Anyone else wants to say anything? As I said, you can understand the techniques for how this is functioning. Okay, but a question can be answered in the next. You think about it. It requires some thinking. This paragraph is something which is extraordinary. What is written here by Srila Prabhupada. And I'm not talking about just the body and the soul inside the body. I'm talking about other things. Okay. So this requires thinking and intelligence. Do not. We want you to think. Don't loan your intelligence to me. What happens to body if I'm not there? What will you do? Oh my God, I can't think. I've stopped thinking. Amrish has gone mad. Amrish has gone mad. I've stopped thinking. Arey, what is this going on, man? I've gone mad. I'm in mental asylum. You should not stop thinking. Yeah, this is what I'm telling you. Why are you wanting to use my? It's easy for me to give an answer and say I'm some kind of guru. So everybody depends upon me. Come to me. Come to me. Come to me. They do this. Those who want material progress, excuse me, those have got some other motives. They say, "Come to me, ask me, and they give you answer." We are saying, "You fool! You give too tight slap. Don't ask me. Think about it and then ask me." So you find out he's not a good teacher. He's not a good guru. I'll find another guru who asks on the back of my call. I ask a question, he gives an answer. Here, sir. Here's the answer. Give me money. They say, "Give me money." Yeah. So yeah, because we don't ask for money, we give two tight slaps. You understand this? If you give me 1 rupee, no, 1 rupee, 1 pie, if you give me, you say, man, I've given you money. Why are you not answering my question, man? Yeah, that's how it is. Material world. If you understood it, you digested it, material world. So digest this point. Okay, anyone wants to say anything else, please? Just feel free. We'll wait 10 more seconds. Okay, wonderful. Let's continue.
The bestial civilization of eating, sleeping, fearing, and sense gratifying has misled modern man into forgetting how powerful a soul he has. As we have already described, the soul is a spiritual spark which is many, many times more illuminating, dazzling, and powerful than sun, moon, or electricity. Human life is spoiled when man does not realize his real identity with his soul. Lord Chaitanya appeared with his disciple Nityanand to save man from this type of misleading civilization.
Okay, understand this. Beginners program devotees, you are free. Those who are in the beginners, I of course I am a little hard on Deepak Prabhu today because he's in the middle of intermediate and beginners, But those who are in the middle, Anjali Mataji, then Varunji, you don't feel this is not for you. It is not for you, okay? You can ask questions. You are new to this. Sushi Mataji also. So you can don't feel about this. If you don't understand, ask me the question. And I will tell others to close their ears. So they can think and then ask the same question for next week. Yeah? You understand this point, what has been written here before? What is given here? The bestial civilization. Is it okay? You understand that?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Very good.
Yes, please.
Because there is no restriction in the beginners program. There is no attendance, no nothing. You can come, you can go. Yeah? It's up to you. Right. So this is the main thing to understand, that human form of life. So we should be very thoughtful of our actions about what is going to benefit our bhakti. Our bhakti will not be benefited by having more followers. First thing is that. Our bhakti will not be benefited by people calling you are a great devotee. This is second. Third thing is, if you expect from people, it's not going to benefit you anything at all. So remove these three and focus only upon our own self. This is Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj. Very difficult to follow Maharaj. Very difficult to follow. Ramante Yoginam Amant. He is very satisfied within himself. Yogi. Yeah, and these are words from that yogi. And we are not yogis. Yeah. But we have to implement these instructions to the best of our ability. Please. Then we'll understand what Prabhupada is trying to say. Okay? Why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came with Nityananda Prabhu? How much wasted of time we have got. So, my experience is this, that in big crowd, we will not be able to understand these things. If you are in a big crowd situation, you won't be able to have peace of mind to understand these things from different angles. Like for example, if you're writing a theorem, so you're working yourself on the theorem, changing the values, and seeing is the answer coming properly, or theorem is working, not working. If you've got crowd doing other things, somebody is in this mode or that mode, you cannot concentrate upon it. So somewhere we require association, which is that's why we say like-minded association. But everybody is working towards the same thing, working the theorem, understand this theorem, how it is done, how it is not done. We've got our own limitations of thinking, our own intelligence, but we're working towards it. And Krishna will give us intelligence. He provides intelligence. He says, I'm the intelligence of the intelligent man. He says this. So it's very important we require quiet corner. Whatever you do, you may be with it's in Sankirtan movement, correct? It's Sankirtan, but at the same time we should have quiet corner, pen and pencil. Understand this. Think about it. You'll find yourself that there are points, there are verses, there are these points also, where you just take a pause and we speak deeply about this from different angles. This will give us some more benefit rather than studying so many things afterwards. Because if you study this perfectly, the other thing becomes very easier. It's not about the volumes. Volumes certainly has to happen, but it's very important to understand the functioning, how it works, and testing it. Change the equation or values. First try with 2 into 4. Working answer is coming. It is coming. Okay, yeah, all right, it's working well. Let's change the values now. Put two values. 24, 36, 24, 100, then 3 values, then 4 values. Yeah, this is how. And then if you don't understand, then we ask the question, okay, I tried it, it didn't work out. Can you help me, please? Okay, sure. Right, let's continue, please. Thank you.
Srimad Bhagavatam also describes how yogis can travel to all the planets in the universe. When the vital force is lifted to the cerebellum, there is every chance of this force bursting out from the eyes, nose, ears, etc. As these are places which are known as the seventh orbit of the vital force. But the yogis can block out these holes by complete suspension of air. The yogi then concentrates the vital force in the middle position, that is between the eyebrows. At this position, the yogi can think of the planet into which he wants to enter after leaving the body. He can then decide whether he wants to go to the abode of Krishna in the transcendental Vaikunthas, from which he will not be required to descend into the material world, or to travel to higher planets in the material universe. The perfect yogi is at liberty to do either.
And this is not something we just theory. I've seen it in practice. I've seen this happening in practice. So, but for devotee, he's not an Astanga yogi. But this is a mechanical process of stopping the 9 holes in the body. It's a mechanical process where they practice it throughout their life. Where for a bhakta, a pure devotee of Krishna was thinking very hard about Krishna, who really has spent time, invested the time, not spent time, invested his life, whatever lifetime we have got, he has invested it in thinking about Krishna, fighting with himself to think about Krishna. This is the benefit he gets at the end of the life. Same process, but you'll get the benefit. Yes. Just digest this points. Yes, please continue. Thank you.
For the perfect yogi who has attained success in the method of leaving his body in perfect consciousness, transferring from one planet to another is as easy as an ordinary man's walking to the grocery store.
Look at this. How easy Prabhupada made it. Yeah, is it? Hare Krishna.
As already discussed, the material body is just a covering of the spiritual soul. Mind and intelligence are the undercoverings, and the gross body of earth, water, air, etc. is the overcoating of the soul. As such, any advanced soul who has realized himself by the yogic process, who knows the relationship between matter and spirit, can leave the gross dress of the soul in perfect order and as he desires. By the grace of God, we have complete freedom. Because the Lord is kind to us, we can live anywhere, either in the spiritual sky or in the material sky, depending sky upon whichever planet we desire. However, misuse of this freedom cause one to fall down into the material world and suffer the threefold miseries of conditioned life. The living of a miserable life in the material world by dint of the soul's choice is nicely illustrated by Milton in Paradise Lost. Similarly, by choice, the soul can regain paradise and return home back to Godhead.
And we understand this, what has been given there before. The choice is ours. Yeah, there is much more deeper points mentioned by Srila Prabhupada. So please just don't minimize by just a last sentence to say the choice is ours. How it is done is given there. So we must go through this process. It has been mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. These are not some whimsical points. Yeah. So there are some nice description of Srimad Bhagavatam. Very big test, Very big test. Yes, please.
At the critical time of death, one can place the vital force between the two eyebrows and decide where he wants to go. If he is reluctant to maintain any connection with the material world, he can, in less than a second, reach the transcendental Vaikuntha and appear there completely in his spiritual body, which will be suitable for him in the spiritual atmosphere. He has simply to desire to leave the material world in both finer and grosser forms, and then move the vital force to the topmost part of the skull and leave the body from the hole in the skull called the Brahma Randra. This is the highest perfection in the practice of yoga.
So this is the highest perfection of yogic practice. One has to break through, the soul breaks through the Brahmarandra at the time of the choosing of that yogi, deciding where he wants to go. It is far cry from people like me who die in ignorance, who live in ignorance and die in ignorance. So where we have to go, we have to understand this. Yeah. So all knowledge is here for us to think, meditate. Then this will be revealed over a period of time. These are very advanced topics. This is really not for the beginners, not for intermediate level also. This is for advanced class. Even there also we have to study deeply to get to this. And Prabhupada speaks about this, right? This very easily. So we're very fortunate that Prabhupada gives this advanced points also at India at beginners level. So we're not bereft of this knowledge where we have to go. But we should not minimize this when it is repeated again and again. Oh, same point again and again. Prabhupada say the same thing again and again. But how much have you realized what has been spoken? You see? So that is most important. If we implement in our lives, then we relish it more and more. Yes. Anyone wants to say anything else on this point?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Is it okay if I can ask a question?
Yeah, anyone can ask a question. Depends upon what the question is.
Yeah, just on this paragraph and from some previous paragraphs relating to this. So, like what exactly is a yogi in this position who can, control the movement of the soul up to the eyebrows and decide where they want to go, right? So exactly what's the actual definition of like a yogi who can do that? Because are they like a devotee? Are they devotees? Are they practices of like Krishna consciousness? Because if they can decide, if they like where they want to go, they can decide like they remember Krishna at the time of death. So does that make them like a Krishna devotee, or are they just like, you know, yogis who want to go to some higher planetary systems, visit other planets? They don't want to necessarily rid themselves from the material world. So I'm just a little bit confused on that. I'm sorry if I haven't framed my question properly.
Yeah, no, good question. So this basically is a mechanical process, as I was said before. It's a mechanical process. Okay, nothing very extraordinary. Practice makes man perfect. So they keep on practicing this throughout their lives. Okay, so all the three kinds of uh, um, transcendentalists can achieve this. Brahman realization also one can achieve with this, Paramatma also, and Bhagwan also. But Bhagwan, they do not spend that time on practicing this. There's a Bhakti Yoga, Prabhupada writes this, doesn't need to do all these things. The Bhakti Yoga doesn't need to do all these things. But that doesn't mean he's playing politics and chanting half-heartedly or chanting this and that and then all these things going on. No, no, no. They have to dedicate to Krishna completely in this. You know, the Bhakti Yogi can also achieve this at the end. Easily, no problem. Krishna controls this for him. Yeah. But for other two, they have to do it themselves. Practice hard. It's not that easy. This is the topmost achievement of yoga practice, Ashtanga Yoga. So Ashtanga Yoga starts with some bodily postures and lotus posture and all those things, but ultimately it has to end in this. So this is the end process, Brahmarandra, where on the top of the skull, between the eyebrows, the soul goes. Top of the skull, it breaks out from there. At that point in time, the yogi goes wherever he wants to go. So all the three can achieve, but generally speaking, this is for the impersonalists and personalists and Paramatma realized, those who are searching for it. But even Bhakti Yogi, I have seen that also happens. But Bhakti Yogi is dependent upon Krishna completely. So Krishna allows this on its own, manages it. He doesn't practice these things. But that doesn't mean Bhakti Yogi does not do these things also. They do it.
Right. But they cannot go to this like Golok Vrindavan or the
They,
Vaikuntha.
no, they can. But the destination is chosen. But we must understand this. If you want to go to Golok Vrindavan, you can do that also. But generally speaking, those who are impersonalists and for Paramatma realization, they live to that only. They think this is the ultimate. And they fall from that grace. Waste.
Yeah, so it's perpetual for them.
Yeah, but even Paramatma realization also you can go to Vaikuntha. You see? And from there you can perfect. So this is the direction in which you should be thinking. I give the direction this point to this point.
Yes, thank you very much.
Anyone wants to say anything, please? I said I can't see you, so do not raise your hands. Just speak up. We'll wait for 10 more seconds. Okay, thank you. Let's continue.
Of course, man is endowed with free will, and as such, if he does not want to free himself of the material world, he may enjoy the life of Brahmapad, occupation of the post of Brahma, and visit Siddhalok. the planets of materially perfect beings who have full abilities to control gravity, space, time, etc. To visit these higher planets in the material universe, one need not give up his mind and intelligence, finer matter, but need only give up grosser matter, the material body.
So what it means here is this, that for higher planets, you may not necessarily require this gross body. Okay? You can give the gross body, but you don't have to give up the subtle body. You can exist in subtle body form. And in a subtle body form, you're not subjected to the limitations of gravity and time, etc. How wonderful is that? Tell me one philosophy which says this so clearly. But this is still not spiritual. This is important. So this is giving us some idea to say that do not misunderstand that even in this material world, you can still have some control over time and gravity. You just don't need a gross body. Sit with this thought. You understand how deep knowledge is given. Otherwise, we just read it and we go away. We won't even miss. We won't even take a second thought to this. So that's why my emphasis is this only for all of us. When something opportune comes, stop and understand. So wow, this is great. Let me think about it. And you can think about the same point for so many days, You're satisfied. Okay, now I'm satisfied I've thought quite a bit about this. I like it very much. Understood in this way. And then I've asked questions, I've verified things, I put my equations in it and seeing it. This is how a person who is serious about understanding God and God's creation will act. As I said, we are not that serious because we've been given this and say, hey man, you're wasting your time. So wake up and come understand God. Yeah, okay, I'm very good. Some pious activities have brought us to this. Knowledge is given to us, so we accept this. But still that fire is not there. I want to do this. I only want to do this, nothing else, full stop. That is not there in us still. I'm not saying it's not there in us. What I'm going to say, when it comes to that, please excuse me, then we will be like this, acting in this form. But everything we do is, does it help me remember Krishna? Yes or no? Yeah? Great stuff. Okay, let's continue our reading. And can we have somebody else to read now, please? Is it possible?
I can read.
Okay, thank you very much, Devanshi Mataji. Is it okay for you that somebody else can read now?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji, for letting me read.
Thank you very much, Mother, for your service. Hare Krishna. Yes, Mother. Sushi Madari, Hare Krishna. Please, your service. Hare Krishna.
Sorry,
Thank
Hare, very well. Is it okay if I can ask another question?
you. Okay. All right. I'll give you the direction to think. Okay, as I did for last time.
Yeah. Just on this paragraph, Krishna Prabhupada is talking about these people that have the ability to visit the higher planets. They give up their gross body and they go in the subtle body. So is the quality of being in the subtle body a result of going to higher planets, or does this also exist for lower planets as well?
The question is again, please.
My question is that giving up the gross body and just being in the subtle body, is that just when you go to higher planets, or is that also when you may go to lower planetary systems as well?
See, you must understand one thing, that living beings who are living in the higher planets, they may consider they won't even touch earthly planet. So when the devas come on earth planet, they don't touch the earth. They may touch for some reason, but that's it. Not like we cannot not touch earth. At every stage, you have to touch earth, walking and all that. They don't have to do it. Okay? They don't want to do it. Now, the higher planetary systems, not all what you require is the gross body. The subtle body is enough for you to do things. And when you're on the earthly planet, and lower, earthly planet, higher than earthly planet, lower than earthly planet, when you are leaving the body, going to the next body, you're living behind the gross body and taking the subtle body. Do you understand this point?
Yes, sir.
So that is the reason why in the higher planetary system, especially those top planetary systems, material, there is no need for gross body. Because from there they can choose, now I'm finished. When now Pralaya is going to come now, Brahma is going to die now. So Brahma takes everyone with him to the Vaikuntha planets. So they are in that planetary system, even Janalok, Maharlok, and Brahmalok or Satvalok, it's called. Siddhalok also is mentioned there. So they move from there. That's why we say that in the Kalpa of Brahma, everything from heavenly down, Indalok down is destroyed, but not these planetary systems. And Narmani stays in their planetary system, Maharlok. And those living beings can travel from one place to another because they don't have this body. They can take the body, remove the body, as per their will. Very much like the spiritual. But still, imagine this: if this is extraordinary, where those living beings can take gross body, subtle bodies, travel anywhere they want to, still control time and space and gravity and all those things, they can control individual people like this. So what else is remaining? That knowledge is not that easily available. What else is remaining? That is available in Bhakti Yoga. This is very deep point. You understand this point? Could this not be possible for one to think unless we have got a bit more study, So this is an example of those planetary systems, living in those planetary systems of Maharloka and further up, Janaloka and Siddhaloka or Brahmaloka. But given a chance to do this, don't accept this. If you give a chance that you can get this or other thing you do not know what you're talking about, Vaikuntha, because that knowledge is not available in the material world. Go for that. And rely upon the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. The Mahamantra will take us to that place. Because even from here to there is not possible. There's a big gap between the two. There are 7 layers that has to be broken down, 10 times each. Then there is void. Then there is Brahmajyoti. Then there is Vaikuntha. What to talk about? Then we speak about other planetary system from Vaikuntha. You've got Ayodhya Puri. And what to speak about then further up is the Goloka, Krishna Loka. And Goloka is a one part of it. With further not available information. Don't think that everyone in this Vaikuntha knows about the Golok part. They do not understand. They don't know. This is very confidential information. That is why we say when Krishna came on earthly planet, and we are so fortunate in 5,000 years, we've got this opportunity to understand about his pastimes. If we were born in some other kalpa, or even in other 5,000, 7,000 years before, 2,000 years before Krishna appeared, we would not have known Krishna appeared. What is Krishna? Who is Krishna? Yet they would know about Krishna, but his pastimes are not known. Hare Krishna Mahamantra existed then also. Had potency, but not as much as Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. But awe and reverence worship is there. Here there is no awe and reverence worship. We understand this? Everybody understand what I'm trying to say? Did I communicate these points? Okay.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you very much. There's a lot of points to, for me to think about.
Yeah, you must think about it. I think this is very important. We must, I think, stop here. Because we don't want to add more points. This is very heavy, very beautiful. I mean, I don't find it heavy. I find it very, very beautiful. So nectar, but it is very heavy for those of us who are not studying it properly. We have done it before. All of you are much better than me, So stay with this thought. I would suggest to you, read this again. So far. Then you understand the man-made satellites is useless. We understand even those high planetary system people can travel without gross bodies. So what is the need for satellites? And you're still not spiritual world. So where we have to go? Close your eyes and stay with it, I think let's complete the next paragraph part. This is a comparison, as Kamadala Prabhupada is saying. Yes, please, Mother, please continue.
Thank you, Divyanshi Mataji, for reading. Man-made satellites and mechanical space vehicles will never be able to carry human beings to the planets of outer space. Men cannot even go on their much advertised trips to the moon, for, as we have already stated, the atmosphere on such higher planets is different from the atmosphere here on Earth. Each and every planet has its particular atmosphere. And if one wants to travel to any particular planet within the material universe, one has to have a material body exactly adapted to the climatic condition of that planet. For instance, if one wants to go from India to Europe, where the climatic condition is different, one has to change his dress accordingly. Similarly, a complete change of body is necessary if one wants to go to the transcendental planets of Vaikuntha.
Yeah, simple, very simple. Let's continue.
I was thinking about this point, Roji, and this point came here about the climatic condition. I cannot travel from here to Ayodhya, and now the climatic condition of a soul body. If one wants to go to the higher material planets, he can keep his finer dress of mind, intelligence, and ego, but has to leave his dress body made of earth, water, fire, etc. When one goes to the transcendental planet, however, it is necessary to change both the finer and gross bodies, for one has to reach the spiritual sky completely in a spiritual form. This change of dress will take place automatically at the time of death if one so desires. But this desire is possible at death only if the desire is cultivated during life. Where one's treasures are, there is also is one's heart. When one practices devotional service, one cultivates a desire for the kingdom of God. The following details outline a general practice by which one can prepare himself for an easy journey to the Vaikuntha, anti-material planets, where life is free from birth, old age, death, disease, and death. General practice positive functions. First, the serious candidate must accept a bona fide spiritual master in order to be trained scientifically, because the senses are material. It is not at all possible to realize the transcendence by them. Therefore, the senses have to be spiritualized by the prescribed method under the direction of spiritual master. Second,
This is the most important thing. Without Guru, there is no Gnan. There's a meaning behind it. Because we are all bound Yeah. Till here we are bound. So we require somebody who's unbound. And that knowledge given by somebody who's unbound. Yeah. So when those unbound, that knowledge is given. And this is how parampara continues. And we practice it, and then we pass on the knowledge to others. Not without practicing, we are just speaking, just like parrot. In Kali Yuga, because people are not attuned to spiritual things, and because they are not understanding spiritual things, they may accept us as somebody big guru, but we are not. We should know it ourselves. So practice what you preach. Practice what you preach. Practice what you preach. Practice what you preach. That's it. What you study, practice. Study, practice. Study, practice. Otherwise, it remains in the books. We become like bookish teachers. Yeah, you understand the beginners, the devotees, understand this point, please? It's very important to understand this point. You have to
Yes,
practice
Prabhuji.
what we are studying. And this is where you see, I can tell you, you don't require gross body itself is a fantastic knowledge. And we don't have to study Bhagavatam for this. It's a small book of Prabhupada, not even a small book. It's an essay of Prabhupada. And I can tell you, we didn't even know this beforehand. So all this, when you read and study about shapeshifters and people can change as per their will, change their body, exactly. That's what, without gross body, you require subtle body. You can manifest anything what you want. Life is very different at that stage. How do people die? Interesting, is it not so? What if I tell you that you can die just by crying? To leave their body with eardrops. It's possible. I don't know. I'm just telling you. And here we are attached to so many things, We're not ready for this. Are we ready for Krishna? We're not even discussing spiritual things. We have not gone through. That's why we want Krishna to dance in our lips, chanting. Why is he not dancing? Why is he not dancing? Why am I not feeling? This is how we are, bhakti. Good on you, Mike. Yeah. Instead of that, we must think about those whom Krishna is attracted. And think about why is he attracted to these devotees? What do they do? How do they do it? And meditate upon those skills, those attributes that they have got. Not by copying, but by understanding, meditation. This is called Raga Anuraga Bhakti. And nobody can tell you this. You have to do it our own self. Otherwise, we're sleeping, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. I'm very hungry now. No, seriously, I'm very hungry. It's my time to eat now. I've skipped my snack time and I'm very hungry. Why are you holding me up? What wrong have I done to you? My snack time is over. My dinner time has started now. This is very wrong. You may want to go back to Godhead. Where do I want to go? I want to have my food, man. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Right, great stuff. Second point, please. Thank you. Somebody had a question? Just don't raise, just say. I can't see you people, okay? Please. Devotees. Anjali Mother, you had a question? Please, please.
Yes, Prabhuji, I was thinking about one thing that when yogis leave their body, I mean, the soul transfers with the subtle body sometimes. What happens with their gross body? I mean, is it still. Sorry, Prabhuji, you are on mute.
Yeah, the soul is taken by the subtle body, always. Yes. The question is?
Yes, so what happens with their gross body? I mean, it is still in working condition. So who maintains the body in that time? The heart is working, the lungs are working. If not, then it will deteriorate. Then how it is then different than even people who are in deep coma.
Yeah, this is the
And
when they leave the body, time to leave the body, passing away.
but
Time to
they
die.
travel.
No, they die. This is the time when they die and you can go to next body. This is when you die. Leave the body, finished, go to the hypnosis.
Okay, so they don't come again to that same body.
That is another point. This in the reference, what is given here is about leaving the body and going to dying, finishing this body. That life is over. What you're understanding is a different point. It's called astral travels. It's a fantastic concept in science, but it's existing in the Vedic way. Astral travel that exists. But we'll talk about that later. It's not relevant right now for you or your level. This what is given here is when you leave the body and go to the, you can choose where you want to go next body. They say enough of this body now, so they go to the next body. Not that they commit suicide. It's not a, I said this in a different way in mantra meditation with all the Westerners, So they said, so why do they commit suicide? I said, it's not suicide, man. I said, oh, I should not talk about this. They are too naive, on this point. We didn't discuss this further. I never raised this point further. Because your Indian body, you are a different way, Your culture is different to their culture, So you could ask this question very easily. So yeah, but it's not. Did they choose their time and destination? Where do they want to go? But they know when the time is up to go. This is not done. But they can still go and come and back to the body. That's called astral travel with different names. All right, but it's called And we will discuss this in our programs. I've given a class on this. But if you're keen about this, think about it. Ask me the question again. We'll have a discussion. Is that okay?
Yes, Prabhuji.
But you got the understanding of this point?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Very good. Wonderful. Any other questions on the beginners program? You can ask questions. Don't worry. It's not for you. You can ask questions. And I'll give the answers relevant and then you can think about it. Okay, let's continue then.
Second point. When the student has chosen a bona fide spiritual master, he must take the proper initiation from him. This marks the beginning of spiritual training.
Yes, without this, there is no proper training. The meaning of this is this, that one has to accept, and the guru has to accept disciples. So I'll give you now I will train you in bhakti yoga. So what is to be done? This to be done, that is to be done, all these things to be done. Not that whimsically somebody says, I'm sending a photograph and I'll do that. Not that way. There's a reciprocation from both the sides. So knowledge is given, and that's why we say that knowledge is given. Those who are serious will understand seriously. Those who are not will not understand seriously. No problem. In Kali Yuga, most of the people are not interested in these things. Nobody comes running to say, I want to understand the life cycle of birth and death. Please help me. Very few people do it. They do it, so they are not. They are there. But most of the people are not. That's why we say Guru comes searching. When somebody is there, not ready or ready, and Mahaprabhu says, do it. Don't ask, just do it. Jaradako tare kao Krishna upadesh. Amar agnar Guru hona tare desh. You see? Kaluga, everything is different. So get trained up properly and do it under the direction of a bona fide spiritual master. Do it. Bona fide sampradaya. Do it. Don't keep it to yourself. But practice what you're preaching. Don't remain a neophyte. You remain a neophyte, then bring them to somebody who's not neophyte. You see? Higher up. But our idea is that everybody should be pure devotees. Why not? All this is available. What is given here in this discussion, which we're doing, it takes you back to Godhead. All information is given here. So what is stopping us? Because we are not serious. That is our difficulty. Yeah, yes, continue. Point number 3.
The candidate must be prepared to satisfy the spiritual master in every way. A bona fide spiritual master who is fully cognizant of the methods of spiritual science, learned in the spiritual scriptures such as Bhagavad Gita, Vedanta, Srimad Bhagavatam, and Upanishads, and who is also a realized soul who has made a tangible connection with the Supreme Lord, is the transparent medium by which the willing candidate is led to the path of the Vaikunthas. The spiritual master
Yeah, please continue.
The spiritual master must be satisfied in all respect because simply by his good wishes a candidate can make wonderful progress along the path.
Exactly. So he should be self-realized. So knowledge given in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, anybody can do. That's why it is given here, who is also a realized soul, who has made a tangible connection with the Supreme Lord. This is important. You see, this is the point. Then there is potency. But the potency is not there. And there are 2 ways of doing so on this. Pancharatri ki vidhi, Bhagavad Vidhi. By Shiksha and by Pancharatri ki deity worship also you can do. But deity worship is one element of it, as we discussed in the past. But you require 100% a bona fide spiritual master to teach you. Without which it's not possible. All these teachings are Shiksha. Simple as that. So whatever you're studying, this is written by Srila Prabhupada, self-realized soul. Guru Maharaj told us to do so, self-realized soul. And we are repeating the knowledge. Simple. Guru Maharaj said the same thing. Whatever I've taught you, just like Prabhupada said, whatever I've taught you, just repeat it. Don't reinvent anything new. Maharaj also said the same thing. I have a way of studying Srimad Bhagavatam. I want the leaders to just follow it. Nothing else. Simple. And we're trying our level best to do so. And to continue the process, we say, okay, if you cannot find somebody else, you're already in the parampara by this Bhagavad Vidhi. But if you want somebody as a guru, please have it. No problem. Then find somebody else and you can go back to Godhead from that person. Because here we are giving you the process, it's through that process. It's simple. Where there is no formal diksha needed in Bhagavad Vidhi. But there is importance is that the disciple should be willing to learn as a disciple. And when he satisfies the person who is teaching, he gets more knowledge, gains more knowledge. But both ways, the answer is the same. When the candidate he can progress to the path of going back to Godhead. No problem. No issue at all. Okay, let's continue. Point number 4.
The intelligent candidate places intelligent questions to the spiritual master in order to clear his path of all uncertainties. The
Yeah,
spiritual
so we
master
cannot say, I'm not intelligent, I cannot ask any questions. That's not how it is. See, same thing. Ask questions, get answers. Intelligent questions, intelligent disciples. Yeah, should ask intelligent questions. Bhavat Bir Loka Mangalam, which purifies everybody, not just the question answer. Even the person who speaks also gets purified. You see? That's very important. Not that you keep quiet, somebody will take you back to Godhead like this. This is not the way. It's not mentioned anywhere. There has to be proper way. Yes, please continue.
The spiritual master shows the way, not whimsically, but in accordance with the principles of authorities who have actually traversed the path. The names of these authorities are disclosed in the scriptures, and one has simply to follow them under the direction of the spiritual master. The spiritual master never deviates from the path of the authorities. Fifth, The candidate should always try to follow in the footsteps of the great sages who have practiced the method and obtained success. This should be taken as a motto in life. One should not superficially imitate them, but should follow them sincerely in terms of the particular time and circumstances.
So what is given here? Whom should we follow?
Footsteps of the great sages.
Yes, following the instructions of the Guru. Whom to follow? Again, whom to follow?
Follow the instructions of the Guru.
Yeah, but whom to follow? Whose footsteps you have to follow?
Great sages.
And where are they mentioned in the great series? Where are they mentioned? Krishna, go to point number 4.
Scriptures.
Exactly. You understand this point?
Yes.
Right. So when we say that Gopi loved Krishna like this, Mother Yashoda like this, so we have to think, you not become Mother Yashoda. We have not become gopis. But what attracts Krishna to them is following the footsteps. Under the direction of the Guru says, follow the footsteps. These are the basics. We understand philosophy. Yeah, philosophy is very understanding. Philosophical understanding is very important before we progress to this point. This is the correct answer here. Clearly, Prabhupada gives here answer. Raga Nuga Bhakti, become Anuga, servants of theirs, of devotees of Vrindavan. So they say choose some devotees of Vrindavan, gopis, or the Vatsala Rasa devotees, who have got Nanda Maharaj, Nanda Baba, and what did they do? Why did they do? How did they do? What was it? They are given in the scriptures. Follow this under proper guidance of a spiritual master, and you can follow. This is the process. Yes, please continue further. Thank you.
Sixth, the candidate must be prepared to change his habits in terms of the instructions contained in the books of authority. And for the satisfaction of the Lord, he must be prepared to sacrifice both sense gratification and sense abnegation, along the example of Arjuna.
So, how do we follow these authorities? How do we change our habits? According to what? What the Guru says? What the Guru says? What does the Guru say? According to what?
Instructions contained in the body of books of authority.
That's right. Do you understand this?
Yes.
And what the Guru teaches you? Read Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. So what we teach you, study that, think about it, and implement in your life. Change your behavior according to them. This is exactly how it is. Not that you should follow what Guru is saying, what a Guru is. No. It teaches you how it is. This is a true Guru. He says, don't follow me, follow Krishna. Prabhupada said this to everybody. Hey, don't follow me, you follow Krishna. I will cheat you. Krishna will not cheat you. That's why he said, as it is books of Krishna. A bogus will say, follow me only. Don't worry about the books. There's a bogus Guru. Do not worry about books. No. He says scriptures are important. These are the foundation of all things. It has helped me. So I'm telling you, it will help you follow the scriptures. So Guru just is a representative showing this, transparent representative to all living beings. And you will do the same thing to others. What you have learned when you practice it yourself. Yeah, please continue.
7. The candidate should live in a spiritual atmosphere.
Yes, make your home into a temple. How will you live in spiritual atmosphere? Spiritual atmosphere is only in the temple. So where are you living now? It is mentioned here. He should live in spiritual atmosphere. So, oh my God, I was living in temple now. Go, no problem, live in temple. Or I want to go to Vrindavan, live in Vrindavan. Sure, go to Vrindavan. If you're not purified, you'll be getting a mess over there. Or Mayapur or wherever. So wherever you are, make it spiritual. As Guru Maharaj says, I want to die in Vrindavan. So I create Vrindavan. Vrindavan means remembrance of Krishna. So chanting, reading, cooking, all this is remembrance of Krishna. That's it. The candidate should live in a spiritual atmosphere. This is the meaning of it. Please continue.
8th, he must be satisfied with as much wealth as is sufficient for maintenance only. He should not try to amass from more wealth than is necessary to sustain himself in a simple way.
That's it. All these big people who travel in first class air tickets, first class train, first class this, first class that, these big people with big garland gurus, they don't understand this. Simple food, you must have simple food, simple traveling. Prabhupada used to give, the disciples said we should give Prabhupada first class ticket. So they went to first class plane ticket. And Prabhupada saw all these were cutting meat, and giving to people. Prabhupada said, why do we do this? We are eating our own food. Just for doing this? No, next time don't make you serious. Sit behind. So we have our own prasadam, sit in the second class. Maharaj would do the same thing. In the train, Maharaj would not travel. Maharaj would travel in the third class compartment in trains to save money. Maharaj would sit on his luggage when there would be no seat to sit on the chair, on the train. Yeah, I've seen that. And I told you about this, the sleeping, the cot. This is the meaning of a guru. Or even once I remember I would call Maharaj and there would be ringtone would come and Hare Krishna Prabhupada chanting is going on, in ringtone. So next time when I called Maharaj, the ringtone Prabhupada, some other, I don't know, chanting was going on. Some mother, was it stopped, So I asked one of the disciples, it was not Maharaj's disciple, it was a devotee. He's not there anymore now. But very nice. He used to be head of the school, Now the school is not there now. School is shut down too, unfortunately. But he would say, and I said, what happened to him? Prabhuji, so થઈ ગયો Maharaj ને કહ્યું. Maharaj found out that it costed 300 rupees per month to have this ringtone. Maharaj said, I don't want to spend 300 rupees for ringtone. I'm building a temple for Krishna. Let it be like this. Just imagine this. Just imagine. Hare Krishna. Yes, please continue. Hare Krishna.
9th, he must observe the fasting dates, such as the 11th day of the growing and waning moon.
Yeah, Ekadashi.
10th, he must show respect to the banyan tree, the cow, the learned brahmana, and the devotee. These are the first stepping stone towards the path of devotional service. Gradually, one has to adopt other items which are negative in character. 11th, one should avoid offenses in the discharge of devotional service and in chanting the holy names. 12th, he should avoid extensive association of non devotees. 13th, he must not take on unlimited disciples. This means that the candidate who has successfully followed the first 12 items can also become a spiritual master himself, just as a student becomes a monitor in class with a limited number of disciples.
Yes. Maharaj would say, don't take too many disciples. Guru should not take too many disciples. Yes.
14th, he must not pose himself as a vastly learned man simply by quoting statements in books. He must have a solid knowledge of the necessary books without superfluous knowledge in others. 15. A regular and successful practice of the above 14 items will enable a candidate to maintain mental equilibrium even amidst great trials of material loss and gain. 16th, in the next stage, the candidate does not become affiliated by lamentation and illusion.
Afflicted.
Afflicted by lamentation and illusion. 17. He does not deride another's mode of religion or worship, nor does he deride the personality of Godhead or his devotees. 18. He never tolerates blasphemy against the Lord or his devotees. 19th, he should not indulge in the discussion of topics dealing with the relationship between men and women, nor should he engage in useless topics concerning other families' affairs. 20.
Hollywood wives. All this Netflix serials, television serials, all should be stopped. Reels and this and that. God, talking about other people's family should stop. Yes, continue, please.
28. He should not inflict pain either in body or in mind upon other living beings, whomsoever they may be.
Yes, you just move on. Continue. Yes.
One of the above 20 items, the first
Out,
three
out of the
positive,
way.
out of the above 20 items, the first three positive items are imperative and essential for the candidate.
So, what are the first three items? A Bonafide Guru. Let's see, Krishna. Let's see first items. Imperative means you cannot do without it. So, first is what?
The serious candidate must accept a bona fide spiritual master in order to be trained scientifically. Because the senses are material, it is not at all possible to realize the transcendence by them. Therefore, the senses has to be spiritualized by the prescribed method under the direction of the spiritual master. Second, when the student has chosen a bona fide spiritual master, he must take the proper initiation from him. This marks the beginning of spiritual training. Third,
Third.
the candidate must be prepared to satisfy the spiritual master in every way. A bona fide spiritual master who is fully cognizant of the methods of spiritual science, learned in the spiritual scriptures such as Bhagavad Gita, Vedanta, Srimad Bhagavatam, and Upanishads, and who is also realized soul who has made a tangible connection with the Supreme Lord, is the transparent medium by which the willing candidate is led to the path of Vaikunthas. The spiritual master must be satisfied in all respect because simply by his good wishes, a candidate can make a wonderful progress along the path.
These three are important, paramount. ठीक है ना? Yes, please continue. Go back down now.
There are 44 other items to be followed by the serious candidate, but Lord Chaitanya has selected 5 as the most important. These are selected owing to the present condition of civic life. They are as follows. First, one should associate with the devotees. Association with devotees is made possible by hearing them attentively, by asking them relevant questions, by supplying them food, and by accepting food from them, and by giving them charity, and by accepting from them whatever they offer. Second, one should chant the holy name of the Lord in all circumstances. The chanting of the Lord's name is an easy and inexpensive process of realization. One can chant any of the innumerable names of the Lord at any time. One should try to avoid offenses. There are 10 offenses which one can commit while chanting the transcendental names, and these should be avoided as far as possible. But in any event, one should try to chant the holy names of the Lord at all times. Third, one should hear the transcendental topics enunciated
Enunciated.
and enunciated
Enunciated
enunciated in the
means
Srimad
given as what has been propagated or given in Srimad Bhagavatam. In the Srimad Bhagavatam.
enunciated in the Srimad Bhagavatam. This hearing is made possible through platform lectures by bona fide devotees and by authorized translation of the Bhagavatam. Fourth, one should make his home at Mathura, the birthplace of Lord Krishna, or one may make his home as good as Mathura by installing the deity of the Lord to be worshipped by all members of the family after proper initiation from the spiritual master. Fifth, one should worship the installed deity with attention and devotion so that the whole atmosphere of one's home becomes the replica of the Lord's abode. This is made possible by the direction of spiritual master who knows the transcendental art and can show the candidate the proper method. The above 5 items can be adopted by any man in any part of the world. Thus, anyone can prepare himself for returning home back to Godhead by simple method recognized by authorities such as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who specifically advented himself to deliver the fallen souls of this age. For further details on this subject, one should read literatures like the Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, of which we have presented an English summary study entitled The Nectar of Devotion. The whole process of transferring oneself to the spiritual sky involves gradually liquidating the material composition of the gross and subtle coverings of the spiritual soul.
I think, Hari Mother, I think we are about time now. So I did not stop because we were counting the points, you know. So I think we should wait, stop here at the whole process of transferring oneself to the spirit sky involves gradual liquidating the material composition of the gross and subtle coverings of the spirit. So we'll start from this next week. Is that okay? Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Krishna, you can stop now, the share. Thank you. Yes. Now, anyone wants to say anything? Any questions about what we studied so far on this? So, wonderful. Okay, it is very simple. It is very difficult to find a very good bona fide spiritual master. You can take all this initiation if you want to. We have already connected you to the Sampradaya, to Bhagavad Vidhi, and for this process is enough by itself. But if you feel that you should take some initiation from some bona fide spiritual master from somewhere who has got direct connection with Krishna, you are sure about that, please do so. No problem. Okay, but you have to go back to Godhead following that personality. You cannot have one foot there and one foot here. Always remember this. If you're 100% submissive, surrendered here, then we are there. Guru Maharaj will take care of all things. Or our process, so Maharaj and all, by Bhagavad Gita will continue. Simple as that. No complications. It's very, very simple. Yeah. Okay. Anyone has any questions before we conclude today? We are way above time now, but still. Okay. Wonderful. So still we have got a lot to cover, you know. So see how technical it is. How beautiful is this, you know. It is very simple, also very advanced topics also, and one really requires some explanation on these points, you know. So all of you who had questions, Padma Prabhu, Deepak Prabhu, and all those things, you know, other devotees. So think about it and understand this, Devansha Mataji. And if you have those things, if you still have more questions, ask me next week with your realizations. You know, if I know, I'll try my best to answer those questions, you know. Or I'll try to put you in the right direction if I know that also. If I don't know, I don't know. Okay. Right. Wonderful. So whose turn is it to sing Maharaj, Maharaj, please hear us?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, it's my turn Prabhuji.
कौन है जी आप जी?
Madhav.
माधव जी, नमस्कार जी, हरे कृष्णा जी, कैसे हैं जी आप जी?
मैं ठीक हूँ Prabhuji.
आप आधे दिख रहे हैं हमको, हाफ हाफ दिख रहे हैं आप हमको, आधे माधव जी, अभी अभी पूरे माधव जी हो गए। अच्छा अच्छा, अभी माधव जी ठीक है, ठीक है। कहाँ पर है आप?
In India.
इंडिया में ठीक है। इंडिया में कहाँ पर है भाई? इंडिया बहुत बड़ी है। मालूम नहीं।
हरियाणा।
हरियाणा में है। अच्छा, पिताजी बोल रहे हैं हरियाणा में। हरियाणा का मतलब जानते हैं आप? हरि को आना, उसको हरियाणा कहते हैं। अरे वाह, क्या बढ़िया। हाँ, वेरी नाइस, वेरी नाइस। सो वृंदावन में कितना पिज्जा खाया आपने? हर रोज खाया कि एक ही बार खाया पिज्जा आपने? Did you eat pizza only once in Vrindavan or every day in Vrindavan?
Only once.
Only once. Shit. Man, you must have morning, afternoon, evening, night, sleeping, pizzas only in Vrindavan. What are you paying? Vrindavan is pizza place. Do you chant Hare Krishna there?
Yes, Prabhuji.
हाँ बहुत बढ़िया तो that is best. हरे कृष्णा बेस्ट है ठीक है तो आप श्री चैनिंग कीजिए and we'll follow you behind. Okay, after you. चलिए 1 2 3 शुरू कीजिए.
Maharaj, Maharaj, please hear us.
Maharaj, Maharaj, please hear us.
We have learned some real good stuff.
We have learned some real good stuff.
Maharaj, we have learned one thing.
Maharaj, we have learned one thing.
And today for you we will sing.
And today for you we will sing.
If our room is clean,
If our room is clean,
then our mind is clean.
then our mind is clean.
If our mind is clean,
If our mind is clean,
we can do anything.
we can do anything.
If our room is dirty,
If our room is dirty,
then so are we.
then so are we.
And if we are dirty,
And if we are dirty,
we're not happy.
we are not happy.
Wasting time
Wasting time
is the greatest crime.
is the greatest crime.
Because wasted time
Because wasted time
means a wasted mind.
means a wasted mind.
So best is your time
So best use your time
when you're in your prime.
when you're in your prime.
And your whole life
And your whole life
will be sublime.
will be sublime.
If your wealth is gone,
If your wealth is gone,
then there's nothing wrong.
then there is nothing wrong.
But if your health is gone,
But if your health is gone,
then that's a different song.
that's a different song.
If your character dies,
But if your character dies,
then the world will cry.
then the world will cry.
Only saintly behavior
Only saintly behavior
lets humanity strive.
lets humanity thrive.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
We must always remember Krishna
We must always remember Krishna
and never forget him too.
and never forget him too.
But how to practice this is so many things to do.
How are we to practice this with so many things to do?
And that is the greatest question.
That is the greatest question.
And here's the greatest clue.
And here is the greatest clue.
You must learn to action and see that Krishna remembers you.
You must learn to work so nicely that Krishna remembers you.
So listen very closely
So listen very closely
and make your thinking sharp.
and make your thinking sharp.
Let's learn how we can live and work so Krishna won't depart.
Let's learn how we can live and work so Krishna won't depart.
If something's due tomorrow,
Something's due tomorrow.
finish it today.
Finish it today.
Whatever's due today,
Whatever's due today,
do it now, don't delay.
do it now, don't delay.
Your friends might be lazy
Your friends might be lazy
or doing bad things.
or doing bad things,
But you think again,
but you think again,
don't follow them,
don't follow them,
and you'll win in the
and
end.
you will win in the end.
Whatever work we're given,
Whatever work we are given,
we do our very best.
we do our very best.
We only live with what we need and give Krishna the rest.
We only need what we need and give Krishna the rest.
This is how to live, to work and to play. You learn to live this way, you'll see Krishna every day.
This is how to live, to work and to play. You learn to live this way, you will see Krishna every day.
When our time is up, he'll take us up above. Let's sing and dance with him with a heart full of love.
And when our time is up, he'll take us up above. We sing and dance with him with a heart full of love.
So chant Krishna's name, his glories and his strength. The only way this world will ever become sin.
So chant Krishna's name, his glories and his fame. It's the only way this world ever becomes known.
Now please ask this greatest question
Please ask this greatest question
and find this greatest clue.
and find this greatest clue.
You can only remember
You
Krishna
can only remember Krishna
if Krishna remembers
if
you.
Krishna remembers you.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Yeah.
Jai Shri Ganesh Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj Shri Gurudev Ki Jai. Jagat Guru Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Chandra Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Shri Ananta Koti Vaishnavanda Ki Jai. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Mahavishnu Goswami Niti Namine. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaur Vani Prasaya Nandi Visheshwar Navadi Prasatari Starine. Okay, Hare Krishna. So Krishna willing, we'll see you next week. Same place, same time. Till then, you chant Hare Krishna and be happy. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare Krishna.
Krishna, thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you,
Thank you
Prabhuji.
very much,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Krishna
Thank
Krishna.
you,
Hare
Hare
Prabhuji.
Hare.
Krishna,
Hare Ram.
Prabhuji.
Hare
Thank you,
Ram. Hare
Prabhuji.
Ram. Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Ram. Hare Ram. Ram Ram. Hare Hare. Hare